Maya was a young single mother, living in a busy city. She had 2 small children she loved very much. Life was not easy for her, but she always worked hard to give her kids a better future. One sunny afternoon, Maya decided to visit a bank nearby. She wanted to open a new account. This was important for her because she wanted to save money safely and maybe get some help to manage her finances better. It was a big step for Maya, and she felt a little nervous but also hopeful. She walked into the bank with a small bag and a few papers in her hand. The bank was large and bright inside. There were many people sitting in chairs and waiting for their turn. Maya looked around carefully. She was not sure where to go first. Wanted to find the right desk to ask about opening an account. Took a deep breath and stepped forward slowly. Her eyes moved from one side of the room to the other, trying to find someone who could help her. Maya's clothes were simple but clean. She wore a plain shirt and jeans. She did not have fancy things with her. Just the basics she needed for her children and herself. She looked tired but calm. She had just come from her part-time job and was hoping this visit would bring some good changes to her life. As Maya moved further into the bank, a man watching from near the door noticed her. This man was a security guard. He was in a uniform and had a badge on his chest. His job was to make sure everyone in the bank was safe. But today, he was watching Maya closely. He saw her looking around, unsure where to go. He thought this was strange. The guard thought maybe she did not belong there, or maybe she was there for a wrong reason. His eyes followed her every move. The guard walked over to Maya and stopped in front of her. His face was serious. Asked her why she was in the bank and what she wanted to do. Maya answered politely that she wanted to open an account. She explained that she had never been to this bank before and was not sure where to start. But the guard did not seem to listen carefully. Instead, he said something that shocked Maya. He told her she looked lost and that she should leave the bank. Maya felt a sudden wave of shock and sadness. She was not used to being treated like this in public. She tried to explain again, softly but clearly, that she was a customer and had every right to be there. But the guard's eyes did not soften. He kept telling her to leave. Other people in the bank started to notice the conversation. Some looked confused. Others whispered quietly to their friends. Maya stood there quietly. She did not want to cause trouble. She was only there to take care of her family's future. She felt the guard was unfair to her. It was not just about being told to leave. It was how he said it, as if she was not welcome because of how she looked or where she came from. Her heart began to beat faster. She thought about her children and how hard she had worked to get this far. Unknown to the guard, Maya was not alone in her fight. Her lawyer, a kind woman who cared about people like Maya, was already sitting in the lobby. The lawyer had come early to help Maya if things became difficult. She was watching quietly, ready to step in if needed. The lawyer had seen many cases where people were treated unfairly because of their skin color or background. She knew that sometimes simple places like banks could be hard for people who did not fit a certain image. As the guard continued to insist Maya leave, the lawyer stood up and walked toward them. She introduced herself to the guard and said she was there to help Maya. The guard looked surprised. He had not expected anyone to come to Maya's side so quickly. The lawyer spoke calmly but firmly. She reminded the guard that everyone has the right to be treated with respect and dignity. She told him that Maya was not doing anything wrong and was there to do normal business at the bank. The tension in the room grew. Some people watching held their breath. The guard hesitated for a moment but still did not apologize or change his mind. He said he was only following bank rules and that he had the right to remove anyone he thought looked suspicious. The lawyer shook her head and explained that looking lost is not a crime. She said the guard's behavior could be seen as discrimination, treating someone unfairly because of their race or appearance. Maya listened quietly as her lawyer spoke. She felt grateful, but also tired. She had never thought opening a bank account would be so difficult. All she wanted was a chance to improve her life. She thought about how many other people might face the same problem every day but did not have someone to help them. She wished things were different. The bank guard finally said he would call for backup. Maya felt scared but stayed calm. She knew she was right and did not want to make the situation worse. The lawyer stood close to Maya and spoke to the guard again, reminding him that this could become a serious legal problem for the bank. The guard looked uncertain now, but he still demanded Maya leave immediately. Maya took a step back. She was about to turn and leave when a few customers near them started to speak up. They said Maya was not doing anything wrong. One woman said she had seen the whole thing and thought it was unfair. Another man nodded and said everyone deserves respect, no matter what they look like. Their voices grew louder and more people began to agree quietly. This support gave Maya a little hope. She turned to the guard and said she wanted to wait for the bank manager. She wanted someone with more authority to hear her story. The guard looked uncomfortable but said she could wait outside. Maya nodded and slowly walked out to the bank entrance. Her lawyer followed her, ready to help with the next steps. As Maya stood just outside the door, she felt many emotions. She was angry that she was treated this way. She was sad because she had hoped the bank would be a safe place for her and her family. But she also felt strong because she had someone on her side who believed in justice. Maya knew this story was bigger than her. It was about respect and fairness for all people, especially those who are often ignored or judged. The lawyer called the bank manager on her phone. She explained what had happened and asked for a meeting right away. The manager agreed to come and listen to Maya's side. Maya took a deep breath and prepared herself to tell her story again, this time to someone who might understand and help her. The day was far from over, but Maya was ready to face the challenges ahead. She thought about her children and how important it was to keep fighting for a better life. Even though the guard had tried to stop her, Maya was determined not to give up. She was there for a reason, and she would make sure her voice was heard. After Maya stepped outside the bank, feeling the cool air on her face, she stood quietly near the entrance, trying to calm herself. Her heart was pounding, and her mind was full of many thoughts. She wanted to believe that the bank manager would understand her situation and help her. Maya's lawyer stayed close by, holding her hand gently to show support. They both knew this was not just about one visit to the bank. It was about standing up against unfair treatment inside the bank. The security guard was speaking on his radio, telling his supervisor about the situation. He explained that a woman had been acting strangely and he had asked her to leave. But now the guard was worried because a lawyer was involved. He wondered if this small incident could turn into a bigger problem for him and the bank. Meanwhile, Maya's lawyer was busy making calls to prepare for what might come next. She contacted some friends who worked in civil rights and legal aid to ask for advice. She wanted to make sure Maya's rights were protected. The lawyer knew that many people like Maya face similar problems but do not have the knowledge or help. To fight back, she was determined to change that for Maya. Back outside, a few bank customers had noticed the commotion. Some of them approached Maya, offering words of encouragement. A middle-aged man told her, "You did nothing wrong. They should be ashamed for treating you like this." Another woman, who had been waiting in line, said, "I saw how the guard acted. It was not right." Their kindness gave Maya some strength to keep going. The bank manager arrived shortly after, walking with a calm but serious expression. She was a woman in her late 40s, dressed professionally. Maya and her lawyer greeted her politely. The manager invited them to a small office inside the bank to talk privately. Maya felt nervous, but also hopeful. She wanted to tell her story. Clearly and honestly, inside the office, Maya took a deep breath and began to explain what had happened. She described how she came to open an account, how she looked for help, and how the guard had treated her unfairly. She told the manager how hurt and embarrassed she felt when she was asked to leave just because of how she looked. Was steady, but her eyes showed the pain she had carried. The manager listened carefully. After Maya finished, the lawyer spoke next. She explained the legal side of the situation. She told the manager that the guard's behavior might be a form of racial profiling, which is against the law. The lawyer said it was important for the bank to take this matter seriously and make sure it never happened again. The manager nodded. Slowly, she said she was sorry for what Maya had experienced. She admitted that the guard's actions were not acceptable and promised to investigate the matter fully. The manager explained that the bank valued all customers equally and that they would review their policies and training for security staff. Maya felt relieved to hear these words. But she also wanted to be sure that this was not just empty talk. She asked the manager if she would take steps to prevent this from happening to anyone else. The manager agreed and said the bank would offer sensitivity training to the security team and staff. She also promised a formal apology to Maya after the meeting. Maya and her lawyer left the bank feeling a little better but still aware that there was work to do. The lawyer suggested they prepare a written complaint to send to the bank's headquarters. This would make sure the issue was on record and could not be ignored. Maya agreed, understanding how important it was to speak up. As the day went on, Maya's story began to spread quietly. A few people who witnessed the incident shared it on social media, telling their friends about what had happened at the bank. The story touched many hearts. People expressed sympathy for Maya and anger at the unfair treatment. Some started to share their own experiences of discrimination, creating a conversation about how common these problems are. The public attention put pressure on the bank to act quickly. Local news reporters reached out to the bank for comments. The bank gave a statement saying they were investigating the situation and were committed to fairness and respect for all customers. The bank also said they were working on improving their staff training. Maya received many messages of support from strangers online. Some offered advice, while others shared stories of their own struggles. Maya was moved by this kindness. Many people wanted to see justice and change. Even with all the attention, Maya remained focused on her goal. She still wanted to open her account and take control of her finances. Her children were always on her mind, and she hoped this experience would lead to a better future for them. The lawyer helped her gather all the documents she needed and made sure she was prepared for the next visit to the bank. Meanwhile, the security guard faced consequences for his actions. The bank suspended him while the investigation continued. The guard began to understand how his quick judgment and assumptions had caused harm. He reflected on his behavior and realized that his job was to protect everyone equally, without bias or unfair treatment. Community leaders also took notice of the case. Some invited Maya to speak at local events about her experience. She shared her story honestly and encouraged others to stand up for their rights. Maya became a voice for many who felt powerless. Her courage inspired people to work together for change. The lawyer continued to support Maya through the process. She filed official complaints with organizations that handled discrimination cases. She worked with the bank's legal team to negotiate fair solutions. The lawyer also connected Maya with local groups that help single mothers and families in need. Through it all, Maya remained strong. She faced each challenge with hope and determination. She knew the road was not easy, but she believed that speaking out was important. She wanted to help make the world a fairer place, not just for herself, but for others too. One afternoon, Maya received a call from the bank. They invited her to come back and complete the process of opening her account. The bank said they wanted to show their commitment to change by welcoming her properly this time. Maya felt a mix of emotions, relief, hope, and a little nervousness. She prepared herself for the visit, supported by her lawyer and the people who believed in her. On the day of the visit, Maya entered the bank with confidence. The staff greeted her warmly, and the manager personally welcomed her. Everything went smoothly. Maya opened her account, signed the papers, and received information about how to manage her finances. It was a small but powerful victory. Maya thought about how far she had come. What started as a painful experience turned into a chance for growth and change. She knew her fight was not over, but she was proud of what she had achieved. Her children were proud too, even if they did not understand all the details. Maya promised herself she would keep working hard for their future. The story of Maya and the bank became a symbol in her community. It reminded people that everyone deserves respect and fairness, no matter their background or how they look. It showed the power of standing up against injustice and the importance of having someone to support you. Maya's journey was not just about a bank account. It was about hope, courage, and the belief that change is possible. Looked forward to a better tomorrow, knowing she had taken a strong step toward it. After the bank managers promised to look into the incident, Maya and her lawyer kept close contact with the bank's headquarters. The lawyer was determined to make sure the bank followed through on its promises. She knew that sometimes big companies say the right things at first, but do not make real changes. Maya wanted more than words, she wanted action. In the days that followed, the lawyer helped Maya prepare a clear and detailed complaint. It explained exactly what had happened and how the security guard's behavior made Maya feel. The complaint also pointed out that this kind of treatment was not just unfair, but could be illegal if it was based on race or appearance. Maya signed the complaint, proud that she was taking a stand for herself and for others. The bank received the complaint and started a formal investigation. They interviewed the security guard and other bank employees who had been present during the incident. The guard said he had acted because he thought Maya did not belong there. But the investigation showed that there was no real reason to suspect her. It was clear that the guard had made a judgment based on Maya's appearance, not her actions. As the investigation continued, Maya's story began to reach a larger audience. Social media users shared her experience widely, and many people expressed their support. Some created hashtags encouraging fairness and respect in public spaces. The story touched a nerve because many had faced similar treatment but had not been able to speak out. Local community groups invited Maya to speak at meetings and events. She talked about how important it was to stand up against discrimination and to seek help when treated unfairly. Maya shared how having a lawyer by her side made a big difference. She encouraged others not to be silent but to speak up for their rights. The bank faced pressure from the public and local leaders to make changes. They knew that ignoring the problem could hurt their reputation in business. The bank's top management took the matter seriously. They began working on a plan to improve training for all employees, especially security staff. The training would focus on respect, fairness, and understanding different cultures. Maya's lawyer worked closely with the bank to ensure the new training was effective. She also pushed for clear policies to prevent future incidents. The bank agreed to set up a system where customers could easily report problems and get quick responses. They promised Maya and the public that discrimination would not be tolerated. Meanwhile, the security guard who had ejected Maya was suspended from his job during the investigation. He was required to attend special training sessions about bias and customer service. The guard had to face the reality that his actions had hurt someone and had affected the bank's image. This was a difficult time for him, but he also had the chance to learn and grow. Maya continued her daily life, but was changed by the experience. She became more confident in speaking out and helping others. She started volunteering at a local community center, where she helped people understand their rights and how to handle discrimination. Maya wanted to use her story as a way to make the community stronger. The media attention also brought other cases of unfair treatment to light. People shared their stories, and local officials promised to listen. Maya met with some of these officials to discuss ways to make the city more welcoming for everyone. She felt proud to be part of something bigger than herself. The bank invited Maya back for a special meeting. They wanted to apologize again and show their commitment to change. At the meeting, bank leaders presented their new plans for staff, training, and customer service improvements. Maya and her lawyer asked questions and made suggestions. It was a hopeful conversation, showing that progress was possible when people worked together. Maya's friends and family saw a new strength. In her, they were proud of how she had handled the situation. Her children noticed their mother's courage and kindness. Maya hoped that by setting a good example, she could help her children grow up in a world with more fairness and respect. The story did not end there. Maya stayed in touch with the bank to monitor how well their new policies were working, shared updates with the community, encouraging people to support businesses that treat everyone equally. Maya's voice became an important part of local efforts to fight discrimination. One day, Maya received a letter from the bank. It was a formal apology for the guard's behavior and a promise to continue improving. The letter also included an offer of compensation for the trouble she had gone through. Maya accepted it, but more importantly, she felt that her story had made a difference. Her lawyer reminded her that change takes time, but every step matters. Maya agreed and was ready to keep moving forward. She knew that her experience could help many others. Maya's hope was that no one else would have to face what she did, and that respect would become the norm everywhere. Maya's journey showed the power of speaking up and having support. It was a reminder that even when things seem unfair, people can make a difference together. Her courage inspired others to believe in justice and kindness. In the end, Maya's story became more than just about one day at the bank. It became a message of hope, a call for fairness, and a sign that change is possible when people stand together. The bank's formal apology to Maya was an important moment, but the real test was what would happen next. Maya, with the support of her lawyer, was determined to make sure the bank did not just say sorry, but also made real changes. The lawyer advised Maya that sometimes big companies apologize but do not follow through. So it was important to keep an eye on their actions. Soon after the apology, the bank announced they would start a full training program for all their employees, especially security guards. The training would teach staff about fairness, respect, and understanding people from different backgrounds. Maya's story was used as an example in the training materials to help employees learn how their actions could hurt others and damage the bank's reputation. The bank also promised to improve their customer service policies. They set up a new system to allow customers to report any problems quickly and safely. Maya's lawyer helped make sure the system was easy to use and that complaints would be taken seriously. The bank said they wanted to create a safe and welcoming place for everyone. Meanwhile, Maya was invited to speak at several events and meetings. She shared her experience and talked about how important it was for people to stand up when they face unfair treatment. Maya spoke honestly about her feelings of hurt and fear, but also about her hope for change. Her words touched many hearts, and people thanked her for her courage. At one meeting, Maya met other people who had experienced discrimination in different places, like stores, restaurants, and even schools. They shared stories of feeling judged or ignored. Maya listened carefully and realized that her story was part of a much bigger problem. This made her even more determined to help bring change. Maya's lawyer helped connect her with community groups and organizations working for equality and justice. Maya began volunteering with these groups, helping others understand their rights and how to speak up. She found new friends and allies who supported her mission. Together, they worked on projects to educate people and encourage kindness and respect. The bank's investigation into the security guard's behavior continued. The guard was required to attend special classes about bias and respectful customer service. He had to think deeply about his actions and the harm he caused. This was not easy for him, but the training gave him tools to do better in the future. At the same time, the bank reviewed the way they hired and trained their security staff. They realized that some employees needed more support to understand how to treat everyone fairly. The bank began working with outside experts to create better hiring processes and stronger training programs. Maya kept close contact with the bank and her lawyer to check on these changes. She wanted to make sure promises turned into action. The bank sent her updates about the training sessions and new policies. Maya felt proud to see progress, but knew there was still work to do. Back at home, Maya continued to care for her children and work hard to support her family. The experience at the bank had made her stronger and more confident. She taught her children the importance of fairness and standing up for what is right. Maya hoped that by sharing her story, she could help create a better world for them. As Maya's story gained attention, local leaders invited her to join conversations about fairness and equality in the city. She met with politicians, police officers, and business owners. Together, they discussed ways to make the community safer and more welcoming for everyone, no matter their background. Maya was proud to be part of these efforts. She believed that change begins with honest talks and understanding. She also reminded people that small actions, like treating everyone with respect, can make a big difference. One day, the bank invited Maya and her lawyer for a special meeting. They wanted to show her the results of their investigation and the steps they were taking to improve. The bank's top executives were there, ready to listen and answer questions. Maya asked about the guard's suspension and the training programs. The bank confirmed that the guard was still suspended and that he had completed the bias training. They said they were working on stronger policies to prevent future problems. The executives also said they wanted Maya to help them create better customer experiences. They asked her to join a special advisory group made up of community members and customers. Maya felt honored and accepted the invitation. She knew this was a chance to make a difference from the inside. The advisory group met regularly to discuss customer concerns and bank policies. Maya shared her experiences and ideas. The bank listened carefully and made changes based on the group's feedback. This partnership helped build trust between the bank and the community. Maya's story continued to inspire others. People who had once been afraid to speak up began to share their experiences. Maya helped create a safe space for these conversations. She also worked with local schools to teach children about fairness and respect. Through all this, Maya never forgot the day she was asked to leave the bank. That moment of pain had led to a journey of growth, courage, and change. She knew the fight for justice was ongoing, but she was ready to face it with hope and determination. Maya's lawyer reminded her that change takes time and patience, but every step forward is important. Maya agreed and continued to work toward a future where no one would be judged by their skin color or how they look. As the months passed, the bank's new policies and training programs became a model for other banks in the city, where businesses started to adopt similar programs to ensure fairness for all customers. Maya's story became a symbol of positive change in the community. Maya felt proud to have played a part in this movement. She knew that one person's courage could spark a larger wave of justice and kindness. She continued to live her life with strength and hope, always ready to stand up for what is right. Time passed, and Maya's life slowly began to change for the better. The difficult experience at the bank had taught her many lessons about courage, justice, and standing up for what is right. Maya still thought about that day when the guard asked her to leave, but now she saw it as the moment that made her stronger. She had faced unfairness and refused to be silent. That choice opened doors not only for her but for many others. Maya's children were growing, and she wanted to give them a future filled with hope and respect. She knew that part of that future depended on the world becoming a fairer place. Maya worked hard every day, but she also made time to help others in her community. She volunteered at local centers and spoke to groups about her experience. She wanted people to know they were not alone and that their voices mattered. The bank continued to improve its policies and training. The leadership kept in touch with Maya, asking for her advice and feedback. She joined the advisory group and met with bank staff regularly. Maya was proud to see how her story was helping change the way businesses treated their customers. Bank became known as a place that cared about fairness and respect. Other businesses in the city took notice of the changes at the bank. Many started their own programs to train employees on fairness and customer service. Maya was invited to speak at meetings with business owners and city leaders. She encouraged everyone to create safe and welcoming spaces for all people. Her message was simple but powerful. Kindness and respect should be the foundation of every community. Maya's courage inspired many people, especially other single mothers like her. She heard from women who had faced similar unfair treatment, but had not known how to speak up. Maya's story gave them hope. She encouraged them to seek help when needed and to believe in their own strength. As the years passed, Maya's life took new turns. She found a better job that allowed her to support her children more comfortably. She opened more accounts at the bank and received advice on saving and managing money. The bank staff now greeted her warmly, and she felt like a valued customer. The fear and pain from that first visit were replaced with confidence and hope. Maya's children grew up seeing their mother as a strong and brave woman. They learned the importance of fairness, respect, and standing up for others. Maya taught them to treat everyone kindly and to never judge people by their looks or background. Her story became a part of their family's values. Maya also kept in touch with her lawyer, who had become a close friend. The lawyer continued to support Maya and encouraged her to keep using her voice for good. Together, they worked on community projects and legal efforts to fight discrimination. Maya felt grateful for the help she had received and wanted to give back. One day Maya received an invitation to speak at a citywide event about equality and justice. She accepted with pride. At the event, Maya shared her journey from being unfairly treated to helping create real change. Her story moved many people, and she received applause and thanks. Maya knew that her experience was helping build a better future for everyone, even with all the success and support. Maya remembered that the fight for fairness was not over. She knew that many people still faced discrimination in their daily lives. But Maya was hopeful. She believed that by standing together and speaking out, people could make a difference. She wanted to be part of that change for as long as she could. Maya's journey taught her that no matter how hard life gets, courage and hope can lead to brighter days. She had turned a painful moment into a powerful story of justice and kindness. Maya's life was no longer only about survival. It was about thriving and helping others do the same. In the end, Maya's experience showed the world that everyone deserves respect and fairness. Her courage sparked conversations and actions that changed not only the bank but also the community around her. Maya's story was a reminder that one person's voice can create a ripple that touches many lives. As Maya looked toward the future, she felt ready for whatever challenges might come. She knew she had the strength to face them and the support of a community that believed in fairness. Maya's hope was clear: a world where everyone is treated with kindness, no matter who they are or where they come from. And so Maya's story continues not just as a memory of a difficult day, but as a living example of courage, hope, and the power of standing up for what is right.